All right, so we came across this passionate plea for authenticity.
Oh,
Yeah, the South Sudanese music scene.
okay.
And
Yeah.
this source is saying that some musicians are resorting to, get this, some pretty dramatic tactics online just to get noticed.
Interesting. So what are they like, manufacturing beef?
That's what it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Like they're stirring up controversy just to get people talking about them.
Oh, okay. So kind of like that age-old question, right? Like any publicity is good publicity, even if it's bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the source even compares these artists to, and I quote, ZL1 women.
Okay. So right away, not everyone's going to be familiar with that reference. So for our listeners, maybe just break down like what is ZL1?
Yeah, so ZL1 is this Arabic TV channel that's known for its like super dramatic, over-the-top soap operas.
Okay, got it.
Think, lots of tears, betrayal.
Yeah, the whole night.
Look at
Oh,
fame.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're basically saying these musicians are being all like, melodramatic and fake just to get attention.
That's the gist of it, yeah.
Okay.
And the source even name drops a few artists specifically. We've got DJ Scent, John Frog, Ali Joma,
Okay.
Lady Cola.
Lady Cola.
Someone called, and this is a good one, the Mapiano One dictionary guy.
Oh, wow.
Then there's Vile King of BFL
Okay.
and Simba.
Okay. Wow, that's quite a list.
It is.
So have you are you familiar with any of these artists, or like have you come across like any juicy online feuds like that maybe this source could be referring to?
I mean, honestly, a lot of these names are new to me.
Yeah.
I'm not like super deep into the South Sudanese music scene.
Yeah.
Maybe I've come across a couple of these artists just, scrolling through social media or whatever. But I'm definitely curious to hear what, especially with that Mapiano One dictionary guy thing. Like, that's got to be a story there, right?
Yeah, right. You don't just get a nickname like that out of nowhere.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I'm not familiar with any like specific online feuds, at least not any that have, really made headlines or anything like that. But, this whole idea of artists beefing online,
right?
It's definitely not unique to South Sudan. I mean, it's been happening forever, right? Like, think about like 90s rap battles or even today, like with all the Twitter wars and stuff.
Really?
It's almost like a tried and true tactic, at this point.
Like part of the game almost.
Exactly. Like a way to, stay relevant, get people talking, maybe even boost your streams or whatever,
Yeah, for sure.
But I do think it's interesting that this source specifically compares them to ZL1 women. Yeah. Like, what do you think they're trying to say there?
Yeah, it's kind of a loaded comparison, right? Like, on the one hand, I get it. They're saying that these musicians are being over the top and dramatic, just like, the characters in those soap operas. But on the other hand, it feels a little reductive,
Yeah, it's like it does feel a little bit like maybe even dismissive.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like it's not really engaging with the music itself, you know?
It's just like writing them off as fake and attention seeking.
Exactly. Yeah. And it also kind of makes me wonder, like, what does it say about our own biases, when we make that comparison? Like, are we looking down on those soap operas and the people who watch them? Like, is it just because it's a certain genre that we automatically dismiss it as being, less than?
Yeah, that's a really good point. And it's something to think about, as we go through this whole deep dive. Like, what are our own preconceived notions that we're bringing to the table?
Exactly.
Yeah. But to get back to the music itself, I think our source does make a really valid point about wanting South Sudanese music to be recognized for its quality, not just for, online antics or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm actually really curious to hear, like, what are some artists who exemplify that for you? Like, who are some South Sudanese musicians that you think deserve more attention?
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are so many. Let me see. Well, first off, you got to check out Emmanuel Jal.
Okay.
He's incredible. He blends like hip hop with traditional folk music, and his lyrics often touch on his personal experiences as a former child soldier.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, he's got an incredible story. Then you have Nairawak.
Okay.
Her voice is just mesmerizing. Like, seriously, chills inducing.
Wow.
She tackles a lot of social issues in her songs, and her music is deeply rooted in Dinka traditions.
Okay, I'm taking notes here. I got to check these out.
Yeah, you definitely should. And then there's also Dynemq.
Okay.
He's bringing a fresh take on Afrobeat.
Okay, cool.
He's got this like infectious energy that just, gets you moving.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so much good music to explore here.
Yeah.
So to kind of wrap things up, what do you think is the main takeaway for our listeners today? We've got these accusations of online drama, this interesting comparison to Z All On Women, and then all this incredible music waiting to be discovered. Like, how do we make sense of it all?
It's a lot, right?
It is.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot to unpack. I think, at the heart of it, there's this tension between wanting authenticity, wanting the music to speak for itself, and then the reality that, a strong online persona can be really powerful in today's music scene. Like, you can't ignore that.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes you wonder, like, can those two things coexist?
Did you have both?
Yeah, can you have both? And
Yep.
and if so, like, what does that look like?
Right. And maybe that's the question for our listeners to ponder. Like, how much does an artist's online image, all that stuff they do online, affect how you perceive their music?
Yeah.
And then, on the flip side, as fans, what responsibility do we have in making sure that the music itself gets the attention it deserves?
Yeah, it's a good question.
So much to think about.
It is.
All right. Well, on that note, thanks for joining me for this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And to all our listeners, keep those ears open, and we'll catch you next time.